Ben, thank you. On June 17th, 1949, a tragic flood swept through the Stokesville and Bridgewater communities, when 10 to 15 inches of rain fell on Shenandoah Mountain. Chief Meteorologist Aubrey Urbanowicz shows us what Stokesville was like before the flood and the major impacts after this major event.
Stokesville, Virginia. This was a little boom town after the turn of the century, all thanks to the railroad. In 1902, the Chesapeake and Western Railroad finished extending the tracks into this area of western Augusta County. The main industry, logging from Shenandoah Mountain.
Stokesville goes from being a sleepy little nothing to all of a sudden a huge metropolis. All of a sudden you have hundreds of men working up in the mountains, working in the hills, cutting down the lumber, bringing them down to Stokesville.
After several years, the timber dwindled and effects from chestnut blight led to the lumber mill closing. Tragedy struck what was left of this small railroad town in June of 1949. This was a tropical low from Florida and Georgia that sat over the Virginia mountains on an already saturated ground.
Of course, it just come down through there like a wall of water.
After hours of torrential rain along Shenandoah Mountain, the North River was raging in Stokesville. Buildings destroyed, homes washed away, and destruction everywhere. The water continued to rise. Don Landis lived in Bridgewater at the time, and the rain in Bridgewater wasn't unusual.
Of course, we didn't know what was going on up at the higher elevations.
But the river turned into a wall of water.
It was hard to believe that that river could have ever got that much water channeled through it like it did during that flood.
Stokesville, completely washed away, and 3 people lost their lives in Bridgewater. As a result of the flood, more dams were built in the area to reduce the risk of future flooding impacts. Working hard for you, Chief Meteorologist Aubrey Urbanowicz, WHSV.